It's funny. I'm connected. Ah, yes, there it is. The evil eye in the corner, right? No energy. Okay. I love starting these videos when no one's here. Love it. Just love it. So what I wanted to talk about in this video, and obviously who just showed up? One person is here. I wonder if, hold on a second, I'm going to check. I have to see who's watching me. Okay. If you're here and you're new, you want to know what I do, I'll tell you, but you have to ask. Never sure where to start. Actually, I start before I even start. You have to prepare, right? Just like on TV. You think the TV you watch the show and it's like they showed up, they're going home, they just did a half an hour, right? But they sit and they practice. They practice for the TV. Well, I'm not actually practicing for how my scenes are going to go, but I'd like to know in advance what I'm going to talk about. I never know what I'm going to talk about. There's so much information. If you say ravioli to me, I'm going to say, oh my God, ravioli, R-A. The R letter is the 18th letter. I already know in order to say it in French, I have to say 18, which means I have to say 10. If I'm going to say 10, what is the fastest way to get the 10? Would that be 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6? I can't get 5. 5 is an amazing position, and I find a lot of information, you know, right over here. I like to work with what we were given. I'm a child of God. I'm a child of God. So who am I? Who are you? Are we all the children of the Creator living in the womb? There's my communication piece right there. Making sure she cleans all that fur, goes inside of her, and she reads it. She reads the fur off of herself. That's why I look at, that's that spirit. Always landing on her legs. So now I'm a little lost to where I was. Yes, 10. But before we can have any creation, what do we need? We need the rabbit. You need the rabbit. You know, every time the rabbit jumps, it has different markings. Every time the rabbit jumps, you get a number 5. Rabbit jumps, you get a number 5. Just about all the time. At least that's what I see, but I'm not the last word. Not the last word, because the rabbit jumps, it's got 4 legs and a tail, and it seems like it's a lucky tail. It keeps hitting the snow. So when you see the rabbit running, you see 5 markings. So where do I start? What do I talk about? Okay, I see you're watching now. Okay. So what do I talk about? I like I said, ravioli. So the R and A, I'm trying to think, why would is it telling me what house I'm in, right? Because the positions like 1 and 2, 1 jumps between 2 and it becomes 3. Now that's your basis for everything. Then you mirror it from back here. Now my question for the mirror is, since we need to work in something that's 360 degrees in some shape or form, and I'm not sure if we want to use it as a triangle, because the triangle only has 3 sides, you know. So I got 1, 2, 3 sides, and then I have the base in between. So that base, that 4th side, is going to connect these 3 sides. Am I the 4th side? Also to note that we have 1, and I turn it 90 degrees or 9, and we have 2, and I'm going to turn it 90 degrees or 9, and we have 3. Now, how do I get to 4? Can I go directly to 4? Well, let me check. Nope. 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 We've got a problem, because in order to get the 4, I need to go 1 shot, 2 shots. I got 4. Now, if you want to put it back, can I get the 4 anyway? Yeah, 1 shot, 2 shots. I can get the 4. Can we get the 4 any other way? So you must move it 180 degrees to get to the fourth one. So now we're going to go to the last chapter of this. So since we need an ABC base and set the base on the earth in French equaling to terre, T-E-R, got the combination of letters, 43, T20, R18, E5, 43. The reverse of that is 38. Every letter, now it's confusing, gets a 27 a number. Number 27, reverse alphabet is 27. So all the reverse, whatever letter you choose, doesn't matter which letter you choose, okay? The opposite letter, its numerical value will add up with the letter you chose to equal 27. BET equals 27, and also B, some might think that it's a 13. AC, remember that? Alternate current, after creation, altered creation. So we're gonna look at this. So we've got like this. First of all, we started off with the ravioli, right? And just to note, there's a Roman numeral here and here. Maybe if I put an N, it'd be a ravioli N. This is the 18th letter. That 18th letter is made up of 10, which is a combination of A, B, C, right? And then the platform. Perhaps that's why they call it the alliance. And then that letter right over here, if you turn it the other way, basically, right, that is going to be, I like to call it the delta angle 3. So you have your ABC, right, which equals to 6. And then you add your D equals to 4. And that equals to what your 10 is. It just so happens that there are names, right, that equal to that numeric value. Also to note that when you get this equaling to that value, this is what is called the operator split, right? It's not the operator do not enter, it's the operator split passage. The reason for that, if it wasn't, it would be like this, do not enter sign. But it's the operator with the, is it the O? Or is this the way for the O? Is that because the circle, right, turned on an angle and become like that, right? Or as you see it face, which way do you see the O? You can see the O this way, right? See the O this way because let's go around the pen so you pass through it. There's an O, right? You can just turn it a little on that angle, it'll change, right? Unless we're talking about different sides of a scissors, but I don't want to get into that part right now. So each one of these have a 24 letter count, right? And why I do this is I call it star math. You multiply it and you add it and it equals to the star-like looking like. Let me read what this says. Hi. So it always connects. So when you, why I say 18 different is because in French, right? Oh, hold on a second. I just wanted to see something. Okay. So yeah, so in French, and I'm always going back to the same thing. In French, they say 10-8, which can also reflect this. Because I don't know if you're saying 10 plus 8 or 10 minus 8 being a child. I'm also going to say B. Okay. I'm going to say B for the reason, for what reason? Because yes, because 10 minus 8 equals 2B, right? 2B. I don't know if you're going 2B or not. We also see that there's two areas in 2B, and it sort of seems like it's a split heart. Like if I would finish off B in a way, you would almost like see that split heart over here to where you have more towards one side than the other. Yes, that does play a part in the role, opening up your mind to think a little bit deeper. Note that this equals to 34 and 14. The minus and the plus. Note that this here, 1 plus 0 equals to 1. 4 plus 2 equals to 8, equals to 6. 1 and 6, the reverse cube of 1 and 6. So that's one of the stories. But I also want to note, okay, I also want to note that 10 does not always get reduced to 1 in the fashion that we would believe. When 10 gets reduced down to 1, there's 2 1 categories, and sometimes I like to think I'd like to keep it valued at 10 because the 10 is the new 1. First of all, you need 100% of something to have its full value. You don't have change in your pocket. You have what you have when you have change in your pocket. You have decimal 00. And if you have something that's whole, it'll be 1.00. Now I'm going to ask myself the question. I'm a little kid. I see a speck next to the 1 and the 0, and I'm thinking, is that 1 or is it 100? 100% of something. So now I got to say it's 100% of something because the decimals there doesn't mean that I don't have 100. I don't want to mix myself up, and I probably did. So now that we're at number 18. If you look at 360, I know 18 or 180 in that aspect. Just multiply it by 10 because I know it stays in its own category, right? 10 is like first and last. How can I say this? If you count 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, that's 10. That's all in its own class. And you jump to 20. So 1 connected to 2 with its 10. But it actually stops in 9 areas. Isn't that weird? Because you put the tail on, the beginning thumb is like the end thumb. It's the same thing, right? I'm not still putting that fully together if I'm explaining right. Every time you go up 10, you go up to another level, right? You get 10, you go up to the other level. 18, if you're counting up, right? Because there's a whole story going on here. If you're counting up, you start at 1. You don't only start at 1, you start at first. And if you start at first, then you get the gold. But that would be only for amateur. When it's professional, all of a sudden, it's now the trophy, the Stanley Cup, the pennant, the football trophy, the soccer trophy, the tennis trophy. The gold would just be the argent, the money in your pocket. And because money is called argent, it's automatically known to be silver because argent in French is silver, which is AG. So now you got silver, argent, 1 and 7. So just remember, we're just going to put that 1 and 7. It just so happens that 1 through 18, your first half, equals to 171. We're talking about this 17Q all over the place. And it just so happens that 171 is the total of the end. Now, does it mean 7 minus 1 and 7 plus 1? That's 6 and 8. That would be the division of the 7th gate, the divided gate. So now we're all over the place. Nobody has a pen. I didn't show anybody anything. So we're going to come back down here. 18. And I talked with 1, 2, 3, and 4. You remember I talked about that being 10? Well, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to go 21, 20, 19, and 18 the other way. I play that rule because of that. 6, 9, 10, 14. 4, 9, 12, 14. 2, 6, 5, 1, 8, 13, 14. No matter what you do, 4 sides will always equal to 14, and 2 sides will always equal to 7. That's the way this is made. There are 3 opposite sides on here. So if you want to talk about number 3, you talk about the 3 opposite sides. If you want to talk about number 4, you talk always about the ring. And the ring is always 14. But 3 sides are not always what? They're not always what? 6, 8, and 4 is 12. 4, 5 is 9, and 6 is 15. 3, 8, and 6 is 14. So they're not always the same. But when you sit on two sides, right, 2 sides and 4 sides will always equal either 7 or 14. 3 sitting on the 4, 5 sitting on the 2, 6 sitting on the 1. Each one is going to represent a different story. So now that I did this, when you count down from 21, you're actually counting down from 21st, or unlike counting up from first. They both hold this tactical into it. So it's in between here and here are your bookends. Here you count 1 through 4. Here you count down 9. So what I'm just trying to think, there's never going to be, I'm just trying to think of something right now. I'm trying to put something together. So in this scenario, this final mirror is 10. Can we do the same in this scenario? In this scenario over here, it's going to be 78. It's ironic that when you count 1 through 12, it equals to 78. 12, 21, both equaling to 7 and 8. It's just ironic that when you count 1 to 18 and then do star math, 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 equals 7 and 8. Do it on both sides. Then you do it the one side over here, 1 times 7 times 1, 1 plus 7 plus 1, you end up with 7 and 9. Where do we get this? The multiplication and the addition. Your final number in the center will be 7, 6, 7. 19. Use that as DNA. Also note 19 has a division in it. There's a division in 19. It's 1 through 8 and 2 through 9. 1 through 8 equaling to 36 and 2 through 9 equaling to 44. It just so happens that the Hanukkah candles, just give me a second if I can find this over here. Just give me a second. I'm looking for something. I seem like I'm all over the place. I'm not all over the place. Or actually, maybe I am. But let me just see for this. Yeah, I'm going to show you this little thing here, right? That the Hanukkah candles on day 1, on day 2, on day 3, all the way to day 8. You're always going to light the main candle on every single day, making it 8. And then every single day, you're going to light on day 1, 1 candle, on day 2, 2. So by the end of it, you light 36 on 8 candles, equaling to 44. That's what Hanukkah is, dividing space, area space. Also to note that the reflective value of this, right, is 6331 equaling to 64. Do not forget that number 64. So we've done that. We talked about number 18. Another thing, I'm going to mention another thing. Oh, yes, we got this over here. So it possibly can be expressing this. I don't know. That's a question. Number 18, the first level of 18, the second level of 18, the third level of 18. Now we reflect on this level of 18. Right over here, we put the base down. So we have 18 of 36, 360 degrees, right? We finish off with 54. This is where the sun comes in. The house is created, right? Heaven's angel is created. Here comes the sun and the IT system. Then we get the 72 representing the house of Bait. 14 and 9, the ring and the birth. Not to note possibly that it's true that there's 14 around. There's 9 for every side. Does that mean anything? I don't know. Also to note that 5 and 9 are opposites of each other, and I before E except after C in creation. This one is going to represent 12. This is going to represent 14. I don't know if it's representing 1/2 and 1/4. I don't know. I'm going to tell you why. Star math. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 equals 3 and 2, 5. Before the Christ. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 equals 4 and 5, born into the IT system of the sun. Only because it creates number 29. When I did this over here, Every time I hit a 0, 0 is an area place you stand, born on day 6, being of the hue light. You get 0 equals to 15th letter, 1 and 5 is 6. I cannot use 9. It brings it back to the same numeric value at a single digit, meaning I add something for 0 to replace 0. 29 plus 9 is 38. 3 and 8 equals to 11. 9 and 2 equals to 11. The invert of 9, your 9 birth, you become the 6th life, born into the 6th day. So I add 6 to this, creates 88. Very important. I have to see where that last piece I just sent, trying to explain what many things of 88, right? You're born into the gate. Okay, you're the reflective of creation. Your base value of 10, add 10. Add 10 and minus 10 to equations. Add 10 and minus 10 to equation, bringing you up or down a level. The other thing is the Q17. Did I do this over here? Did I do this here? No, I did not. Did I do this Q anywhere here? No, I did it over here. Q17, Z26. The reason why, I'm not sure why I put this here. We're going to just leave that out for now. 1 and 7, 8, 2 and 6, 8. When you go to the ATM machine, right, you will see these two letters. 43, Earth and Mars, the red house of DC. Ownership by the red. The back end, the trunk, the elephant controlling the mouse and controlling the land. The reason for this is the elephant running away from the mouse. The cat chases the mouse. The cat is that electricity, spirit, electricity, and it's the trunk, because elephants have a trunk. The back of the trunk has the red lights that are flashing. It's always danger and beware at the trunk. So I'm not sure if we got that. I say the house of bait. Okay, 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 is 18 and 9 equaling to 72. We are that 10-8, Heaven's Angels, right? Harley Davidson, Heaven's Angels. And this is the scenario it creates. The third count of this is on the basis of a single digit count. So the first one is 18. On the second one, it's 27. On the third one, it's 36. On the fourth one, it's 45. 8 and 8 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. 8 and 7 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6. 6 and 8 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. So each one of these are going to be also telling different stories. This one over here is going to end up to be 17. This one will be 23. This one will be 27. And this one will be 29. 4 times 5, 4 plus 5 puts it here. 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 goes here. 2 times 7, 14. 2 plus 7 equals to 9. It goes over here. 1 times 8, 1 plus 8, 9 and 8 goes over here. So you have 9 and 8 that creates a 17. This is your high birth, the H and the I, which is your AB creation. The reason for this is there's just so many rules and regulations that are going on in our number systems that I believe that in my theory, in my understanding, where you need 1 to go in between 2. So we can eliminate 1 and 2 because they're all playing from the 3 creation. We cannot count indirect. Okay, your 4, you have your 3 base, and now boom, connected to the 4. That totals 7, but your real value of that is 5. See the way hold on a second. We already have the 4 corners. The only one we're adding is a single 1 in the digit. Single 1 in the digit here. The only true 7 is this one over here. The reverse is in the center. See the dot in the center? If I plug it all the way through, it shows up over here. It's the only true 7. This is going to create a design to flag a Great Britain. When I follow it up, I always have to use this dot so I can go all the way up, all the way down, all the way up. N. If I did it this way, it would be a Z. If I just went across, it would be the H. If I did it this way, it would be the I. If it would be the I, it is to my left and to my right. If it is my H, it is above and it is below. If it is the H, it is either 3 and 4 showing in the game. If it is the I, it is the 5 and 2 showing in the game. This is undeniable truth. So if we base this on something, to this undeniable truth, then would it not make whatever relates to this actuality be the undeniable truth, or the undeniable connecting truth to what possibility could be the actual truth? But we can only look in theory because we can never know the truth without being there. We can only know from what we see in the science. So are you going to say we can believe this science, but this science is a little bit too far-fetched? Now, anything that something or someone's going to fetch, is it going to be just my dog fetching? But in the lives we live, we know that mostly the dogs are fetching. The cats aren't fetching. The dogs are fetching. Not fetching, not complaining. Everything is multiplied by 3, brought back to your home base. Then you can add on your home base. Sometimes when I multiply numbers, I'll multiply 3 times whatever it is. Let's say 3 times 18, and then I'm going to add the 18. But I'll add the 18 to a single digit for either the A or the B house, in which both houses are both A and B. On the outside, it's going to be B. On the inside, it's going to be A. Then there's the left and the right. And that is, when you count the left side, it's 12. When you count the right side, it's 18. It's 1.5 times the value. It just so happens when you play blackjack, the game of 21, they pay you out 1 point times the value. It just so happens that 1.5 or 15 is 1/4 of what 60 seconds is. Now, since the 9 or 90 is the birth, it'd be 6 times 15 for 90 to birth. Or it'd be 4 times 15 to equal to the 60 seconds on the clock, to give you what is your 3 times 3 equals to 9, and 3 plus 3 equals to 6, to understand the rotation, how 6 and 9 are coming together. So we have the 3 for the triangle, and then you have the base of the triangle, your 4th element on that triangle. Just let me try and see. Yeah, so you have the left and the right. You have the blackjack. You have in blackjack, your ace can be valued at 1 or 11, 111. The center of 36 numbers totals 111, and you're going to use 6 numbers. 6 numbers total 111, in which gives you 17 is not a 17 count. It gives you 6 by 20 is 120. Take away 1.5 times 6. So that's going to be an 18.5 average, 185, 185, 185. I'm just trying to see where the 185 fits in. Sometimes I don't like some numbers that I say. Oh, the 8 is in between the bookends of 1 and 5. Just to note that 3 by 17 is 51. The numeric value for Mars is 51. The 16, 17, 18 is a total of 51. The 18, 19, and 20 equals to 60. 60 and 51 is 111. So are you following me with all this? Because I'm just throwing this all up into the air. We started out, see, and anybody that's just jumping in now won't be, I'm just hoping you can see you're not going to see anything right now. I was talking about this. To begin, we put 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 together. That becomes the base. If we did it backwards, we'd work this way, right? It'd be 78 or 10. That means we'd be playing 68 numbers in between. It just so happens that life's heaven that we live is right here at the 7th gate. That 7th gate is right over here between 6 and 8. 42 is that creation. 8 and 2, 6 and 4 is 10, 10. But you know what's ironic? 2 times 4, 8, 2 plus 4, 6. And in between that is where number 7 divides. And this would say house planet. And imagine house planet our divided house planet. Divided by the sun, only because I know that the ace can also be done the left side of the ace and the right side of the ace. I also know that the ace is made up of letters D and C, if you'd like to look at it that way. We can also create the picnic table on the top with the chairs. So we have the base, we have the ace. The ace is 1, 3, 5. The first letter is A, the third letter is C, the C is 3, and the E is 5. Just so happens that the 13 ball and the 5 ball are orange and pool. Orange equals to 60. You can also say golden angels, the word or in French. You can say aura, right? Range, the O range. Orange is made up of both red and yellow, both noted to be what is the soul for the yellow and what is the spirit for the cat. Now, these are hypothetical things where the spirit gets red hot. The sole bottom of my foot, I use it for that. I take yellow. Now, the question is, if I go to the bathroom and I need 1 and 2, what do? The spirit is number 91. Red is number 27. Yellow is number 92. It just so happens, right? Spirit is 91. That on the 91st day of the year, yo, Earth and Mars is yo, yo, yo. Let's play that yo-yo, Earth and Mars. 3 times. 3 times. Let me go just jump really, really quick. Oh, no, I had it over here. There's your yo. We'll get into it. 25 and 15. I hope I don't forget. 120 and 90. We're going to get into that in a minute. Where are we over here? Yeah, we had the spirit. So what happens over here is this. We're going to take this to another page. Where the 91st day of the year is April 1. It just so happens the 4th month and it's the 1st day, right? This is month 4 and day 1. It just so happens they're both 44. M13 and D4. So we know in the 4th month we created the mirror. We brought in what? We brought in number 1 alpha. We brought in the heart of the heavens, because we know that on this cube that there's 8. That there's 8 that surround 1. Position 5. 1. 14. 23. 5, 14, 23 equals to 42. Plus 32 equals to 74. It just so happens that energy is number 74. Cross 33 and 38, 71, 74. The beast is 47. Time is 47. The bull is 47. You walk on 47. And the Jesus is number 74. This is the 5th house. Now, if we want to count it on a platform base, right, we're just going to count this over here. And this is going to show me a gateway. 4 times 2, 4 plus 2 creates that 8 and 6. Remember, we must recreate and understand this formation. This formation of 7, 16, 25, and 34 can also be found over here. 7 as 1 and 6, 7. 7 as 5 and 2, 7. 7 as 4 and 3, 7. Each one of them is 180 degrees from the other. We have to understand our differences between 90 and 180, between the letter I and the letter R. they're doing this. One is 1/2 turn, the other is 1/4 turn. We also note that this is 180 and this might be 90. Looks like a 7, right? But the 180 split might be this, right? The question can be, here's your flat line. Are we dividing it right here at the flat line? I don't know. Just questions I just throw out into the air. I'm going to get with you there, Benjamin. If you got any other questions, I'm going to do something on the yo-yo. Let me see this. Seems to be my colors and aura according to some machines. Shin, look up the word shin. You'll see what shin is. Shin is also a Hebrew word, right? Okay, so now where are we? So we've seen this. We did this. We look at this. The 91st day and the 92nd day. Look what happens April 1st. It's not just any number. It's 91st. It's gold. Then it becomes silver. And when it becomes silver, you get the 29th day when this becomes 92nd day. And this one is in February. This is the February. Did you know that the 14th day, Valentine's Day, is the 45th day? And there's 321 days remain, right? 321 days remain in the year when counting, when in the leap year. There's 321 counting the day in a non-leap year. April 1st, 13 by 7 equals to 91. And don't forget, all these are coincidences. They just are the truth of the coincidence. Also, the Mayan calendar, when they count in the Mayan calendar, they use a gear system that runs with 13 and 7, the total of 20. They have 20, 20 days and, 18 days of 20 months, right? What was that figure? I don't remember. So we do know that one cycle in the deck of cards, when adding up 1 through 13, equals to 91. Now in pool, there's 15 balls. In darts, there's 21. There's 20 areas, so we can look at that also. We also have to note that angel and 10 both equal to 39. What does that mean? It just means that when we went to number 47, we had 28 and 11, the cycle of creation. The cycle of man creation. The reason I have that is because 28 is for man, 11 is where that ace, so we should say the sun creation or the divided sun. The word sun is the 19th letter. The 19th letter, S, is used for plural, right? S is used for plural. It also, when you count to 9, you don't use 9, you count 1 to 8. When you count to 11, you don't use 1, right? You count 1 through 8 and 2 through 9 when you're doing 9, 11. In this one, you don't count the 9. In this one, you don't count the 1. This one becomes your ace, right? Your ace 11. Blackjack, you have ace 11. You get number 14. If you're playing some other games, 14 would be in that position. And in Casino War, the 13th card is the ace in Casino War. The ace is not long, but it's high. Now, when you play also in between, you have a choice. The ace can be high or low. I don't know which one it is, so I can't do anything on that game. The ace, why the ace divides and what happens to the ace. Okay, again, I'm going to show you ace, which, sorry, not ace. I'm going to show the ace is 1, 3, 5. The reverse is 26, 24, and 22. That would be 72, dividing the house of 8, number 24. When you say sun, like we wrote over here, you have the 19th letter, the 21st letter, and the 14th letter equaling to 54. 1 and 9 equals to 10 equals to 1. 2 and 1 equals to 3. 1 and 4 equals to 5. Sun is divided. It's between 1 and 1, as shown over here, as taking life on over here, and as the spirit, the one spirit connected to the 8th heaven, in which is only one is awake. When it's like that, it's awake. 5 or 2 is up. And when it's asleep, it's like this. 4 and 3 are up. The reason for that is because what this is going to do. If we do that, we have this with the dot in the center here, and I'm going to do that. So the same thing, we're going to do it again, right? We're going to do that, and we're going to follow up. We're going to go up, dot in the center. Whoop, I did that already. Sorry. Dot in the center. I'm going to do that, and then we're going to just draw the bar. If we do it the other way, and it's along the top, right, and along the bottom, I'm going to put the dot in the center and draw that. Or what I'm going to do, if it's the dot in the center and we have the 2 tops, I'm going to draw that. So if I did all that, right, when I put that all together, the H, the I, the N, and the Z, we now have your GB, number 27, House of Bait. Bill, House of Gate. Great, tell me nothing about Britain, number 27. Red, in the trunk. Dividing everything up into 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything gets divided up into 8. Although we should only be 6. The hexagon 6 is not 8. If you have to make a bolt with 8 sides, what will happen? Bolts are made with 6. So what happens over here, that when we added up these two numbers, 28 and 11, over here, we got 39. We got the numeric value for angel. We also have the numeric value for Saturn, living in Saturn's star, number 93. Also to note, can we divide this to find our base? Can we find our base? Well, our base always starts with 3, so it's 3 by 31 or 3 by 13. It just so happens if we combinate it, the first one will equal to 75. The second one will equal to 57. 57, 75. So if you have a little bit of time, I'm just going to go make myself some hot water in the kitchen with the boiler, working by itself, all by itself. I'm going to make some hot water. Hey, boiler, boil me up some water. I'm a boiler maker. Oh, I feel my heart. It's beating. Oh, my God. Don't beat me up. Or beat me up as much as you can. Because as long as I'm up, I'm not asleep. Boom. Boom. Hey, it's funny. Boom. Be back in a second. It's so cold I have the heater on. I put the air conditioning on one time for 36 hours in this place. It is so cold in here. I'm standing on this floor. If it should get hot outside, all I have to do is stand on this floor and I'll be an icicle. Now, that's how cold it is here. Let me say hello to my buddy. Hey, buddy. You have a kiss for me? Okay, gonna make that boiling water. No water here. No water here. Give me a second. I'm taking a 2-minute break. You gotta go pee-pee. Go ahead. For me, the greatest thing in life for me is knowledge. But the end result of that knowledge is, where is it going to get me? What's it going to do? And what's satisfying about this knowledge that I feel that I can share, that I think is pertinent over the period of time, is one of the reasons I believe that there's turmoil in this world. That there's turmoil in this world. I just believe, and you know, I like to do some crazy things. I don't know where my hat is, right? So maybe I should just wear this as a hat. There's a lot of turmoil in this world. You know, I like to cover my head. I don't know why. I just like to cover my head. There's a lot of turmoil in this world. Hold on a second. Okay, that's used up. Okay. So those thoughts, I'm just going to put those thoughts in a ball. Got my thoughts. No, I'm just trying to think of something. Just give me one more minute. See if the boiler is working. Okay. Okay. Where are we now? I like putting my leather belt on my head. You know what? I still need to get a hat. I need a hat. I need a hat. I need a hat. Sock won't fit. Maybe I can wear my cat on my hat. Cat in a hat. In French, chapeau. In Spanish, arigato. In sombrero. I don't know where my hat is. I found one of my old hats. I found my this hat here. Comes with tie wraps. Yeah, I got this hat with tie wraps on it. There we go. There we go. So I'm fooling around right now. Got this hat with tie wraps. How do these tie wraps go? This one goes up here like that, maybe. This one goes up here like that. Oh yeah. I think that's good like that. Something like that. It's got to be something like that. Anyways, what's that look like? I like the colors, eh? I like the colors, okay? Because I'm not doing this quick, I'm doing it all in a rush. I don't want to make a fool out of myself. But then I'd have to look up the song, right? I have to get my information. Some of my information comes from just the songs. They sang a song, and I'm listening to the song, and I go, oh, yes, inspiration. Now I understand a little bit more of that song. Like they keep singing love, 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 and not Moses, Noah. No, I got to fix my camera. It keeps going. Just 1 second. Think about Noah, right? What was it about 2x2? What is it about 2x2, right? Let me see. Whoa. Okay. So what is it about 2x2? I just need to get my camera to, whoa. Well, no, I don't get enough. Okay. Noah. Noah went 2x2. Observe. Well, now we have see, this is what's terrible, that I don't have anything prepared and it takes me away from my thinking. Yes, I can do that. So there's Noah. Noah. They said 2x2. So what is the 2x2? What is the 2x2? I'm going to get back to that. What is the AZ music? Awesome. Okay. The 2x2, let's go through this. Again, we're going to try to understand number one. There's one number one, And there's one of every single one of these going up to number 6. Okay. The thing is, with number 1, it comes with a number 8. The 8 areas that you don't see that are on the face. They're like the ocean. This is the land, and here's the ocean. 1 and 8. Then what we do, right, is we're going to go to 2 and the ocean. 2 and 7. 1 and 8. 2 and 7. Now I wish I can split my camera up, right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to 3. So we take 3, and then we have 3 here and 3 here. So we have 3 and 6. You're writing this down? Or maybe I'm going to put this, let me do something like this. Let me show you this, right? Maybe you can see it as I'm writing it down here, right? Maybe I'll turn it around, right? Whoop. So, so now what you have is, okay, we're going to do that. Okay, you have 3 and 6. Now what you're going to do is you're going to see number 4, right? So you got the 4 corners, and you're missing 5. So we're going to go 4 and 5. So now you have, let me hold it up a little bit. So now you have 1 and 8, 2 and 7, 3 and 6. We haven't doubled up anything yet. Now we're going to go to number 5. Oh my God, look at that. We have a 5 here and a 5 here. And we have 4 empty spaces on the cross. Now we doubled up. We have 5 void and we have 5 dot. Where do we get that? We're going to go to number 6, where we have 3 and 3 dot, 3 and 3 dot, or I can turn it this way, 3 and 3 dot. And then we have either 6, 5, 4, or we have 2, 5, 8. So if you notice, right, if you notice, let me just get this off over here. I've shown you the truth that 1, 8, 2, 7, 3, 6, and 6, 3, look, all doubled. Only these doubles, not these. This is 3 and 15 equals to 18. 1 and 5 equals to 6. 3 and 6 equals to 9. The creation of the house of bait is this number. Now, if you do that, 3 by 12 equals to 36. And now from a ruler, you now have a yardstick. Okay? You need 10 to keep the gold. Football terminology. You need 3 times 36 inches for the yard. You need 10 yards in order to get the first down over again. So when you do this, right, you're going to have 9, 9, 9, and 9. Now, the thing about this is L12, 1 plus 2 is 3. You have O. See, 3 and 6 come together, right? 3 and 6 come together. You have O, 15, 1 and 5 is 6. You have 5, okay? You have E. You have the 5th letter. You have the 4th letter. You have the word V as the 22nd letter. 2 and 2 is 4. You've now doubled up on all the letters. And the word love is 54. The same numeric value as the sun, the same numeric value as, why don't they ever say this? Why are they always saying this? There's a few other words I'm not remembering at the present time what they go with, but just to note that the 4-letter word of love, 4 by 27 reverse equals to 108. In the word love, you don't need any of that, because all you need is the primary of its word itself is 54, because they're already in the word. It's already in the word.
4 by 13 plus 2 to equal to the 54. It's already in the word. I don't need to do it. Otherwise, you're going to go love, love, because that's what's going to happen. It's going to be doubled up. Everything about the word love doubles. Everything in the word love doubles. And I'm just trying to think. This one brings in French, okay, the reverse of this is going to bring in neuf. All of these are going to be birth. The reason for that, it's the 9th month of birth. That's what makes everything whole. And these are the positions that you come into. And all of these you get doubled up in. This one is a gateway, the 7 and 8. The queen and the king, we're going to put the queen over here. It's going to be moving around, queen and king, male and female. They're going to be jumping around. Just to note that this word, this funny word over here, equals to 63. It just so happens that this funny word over here equals to 54. It just so happens when you add the two together, right, equals 0.9 possibly for the birth, or equals to 117. Now, if we're going to note what is 117, it's right here. 117 is right here. How do you want to say this? Is it 7 come 11? Is it 77 and 18 equaling to 95 Neptune? And again, inside the word Neptune is the sound of birth, ne for naissance. Can also be for northeast. And in the word Neptune, okay, it's going to be 19, and it's going to end with 19. The center is going to be that. 3 by 19 equals 57. 19, 57, and 19 equals to 95. 5 and 9 born into the E world, possibly the water world. And it's also noted that the pitchfork, not really sure, I'm not doing everything in order, but the pitchfork, right, in the center does that and that and that. 1 versus 1 and the split 2 worlds. I'm not really sure which way you want to look at it. You can also set up Gigi on this, like 77, and 77 is going to create 49 and 14 equals to 63, but 9 and 4 is 13, and 14, 1 and 3 is 4, 1 and 4 is 5, so it's going to go back to the female at the end inside the house of bait, your birth in the IT system. IT system, mathematic will create 20 and 9 equals to 11 and 29. In fact, Jesus, number 74, gets reduced down to number 29, then to 11, and then to 2, ending up in the house of bait, which when we put the platform on everything into the 4th house, you have 60, your creation, plus base 20. But to put this all together is now you're going to say all in one by going 420, which is your communication. 4 times 20 equals to your 80. It is your bronze. Now what you have to do now is 4 plus 20 equals to 24, which is your divided 7th gate, plus 80 equals to 104. 2 times 52, 4 by 26. This is your communication 10-4. These are your bookends 10-4. One of the things about that and one of its own realities, and remember, their own reality all the time. You know what? When I want a dice cube, I never know where to go get one. They're all over the place, all over the world. Here, 6 and 4 equals 10. Well, if you have 6 and 4 equals 10, Zion, Israel, right? The bookends of control, controlling of the moons, you're going to have 1 and 3. Your 13 base, remember that 13 base, moon base control right here. They'll create 77 because you know the 1 is opposite of the 6. You know that the 3 is opposite of the 4. That's where your 77 comes in. That's going to reflect itself. Number 31. I'm going to show you why. There's 7 months of 31 days. There's 4 months of 30 days. And then the heavens and Valentine is sitting right here. You're also going to look at 5 because when you have 55, you also have 22. 55 will be 22, and this will equal 4, and this will equal 10, and this will equal 10, and this will equal 4. The difference between these two is this one will be a negative or a dark, okay, energy, and this one will be a positive of red energy, a fire energy. This is going to end up, okay, with 4 and 4 equals to 8, and this is going to be 5 and 5 equals to 35. 5 times 5, 5 plus 5 is 25, and 10, 35 equals 8. 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, and 4 equals to 8. They're both going to have a value of 8. In this one over here, it's going to remain 1 and 4. We've reduced it. 1 times 3 equals to 3. 3 and 4 will now have 7 and 1. And this one equals to 8. Now they all equal to 8. Equal to one side as the other, although in this one, they have to combinate to equal to this. 13 times 3 is 39 for angels. 31 times 3 is 93 for Saturn. And like I mentioned a minute ago, I'm not sure if I changed the page. Three by 13. Where am I? 13. Just 1 second. Did I do it here somewhere? Yes, right here. 5775, right? Now, it's not for me that I did that, but more for, just give me a second. Right here. Can you see it? Orphelin or orphan. You can look up the word orphan. It'll say the same thing. When you total it on the right side, 17, 34, and 6, or 1776 is 57. On the left side, and this is 3 numbers, 3 by 19, right? On the left side, 1 and 21, 35, 66, 75, 57, 75. Here's your Q and your Z on your number 1, 88. There's also a whole bunch of other number systems. Okay, I'm not going to get into all of them right now. So now we see that we have 5775. And what's so ironic about that, and I'm going to get back into why 711, is that in 5775, when you multiply it by 13 moons, it equals 75,075. "88 keys on the piano." It's pretty cool. I don't know why, but they got me on 84,000 views on this video. Truth is the truth. You get 75,075. Now, what's ironic about this? Although you have the electric moon, you know, I've been talking to AI and trying to see if it will help me out, but it can't even add up right now. At the same time, you have the word Heinz, 57, right? So when you have this, the mathematics will give you 35 and 10. I think we better get a new mathematician in here, right? It'll be 35 and 12 equaling to 47. You remember the beast, number 47? Time looks, I mean, the moon keeps showing up with these numbers. At this point, you're going to see 3 and 5, 8, 1 and 2, 3, equaling to 11. I can also do the 15 and 8 and the 2 and 3, right? And this will be 11, and then I'm going to do that dot over there. It'll be 28. The cycle of man will end up inside of here. You want to see what's ironic? 7 times 4, 28. 7 plus 4, 11. I'll do it again. 3 times 5, 15. 3 plus 5, 8. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 is 3 and 2. 23 and 5 equals to 28. We have 18 to the multiplication side. We have 10 to the addition side. Note that when you have 4, 6, 2, 8, 4, 2, 2, 4, 6, when you have these number combinations, these will be dark, right? When you have this combination, this will be red. It's ironic. One is 50, one is 60. We need 5 and 6 to come together for our base creation. Our base creation on the high side is 5 and 6. On the low side, it's 1 and 2. Your base creation coming into anything, 1 must enter into 2. And in 6, okay, is ignited from the other side, the 1, going all the way through, igniting all 6. 1 ignites 6, ignites 8. The shamus ignites both the heaven, asleep, and awake, takes care of you both times, this way and this way, 6 and 8. The house planet divided by the 7th gate of the spirit or of the cat, 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, will create that 8 and 6, recreating your 10, 10. 8 and 2, 6 and 4. I spoke to you before that we're going to talk about the 6 sides. Well, the 6 sides of Rubik's Cube, right, is going to be like this, or the calculator. You're going to have total up this, 21. Total up this, remember, this counts to 8. 1 through 8 is 36 minus 3 is 33. It totals 54. It is the sun cube. This will equal to 5. This will equal to 15, equaling to 20. T minus counting. Should we not count this one? This one is lost. We all know that everything is either outside of this, and everything inside of the corners is 1. If you notice on here, there is no 2, 4, 6, and 8. There are no 2, 4, 6s, and 8 unless you look over here. This is the only time you'll find either a 2, 4, 6, and 8. Either you'll find an 8 and 2. You have the 8 and the 2 sitting equaling to 10 in the I position, okay, or the N, I or N, 9 and 14. 7 times 2, 7 plus 2, house of bait. Or what you're going to have is you're going to have the H, right? And in the H, you have 4 and 6, okay? And that's your 10, but this is going to equal to what is, I'm just trying to think, in this position, it's going to be the H and the Z, which is going to be 8 and 12. I'm just trying to think, 2 times 6, 2 plus 6, right. 2 times 6, 2 plus 6 will equal to 8 and 12. So this is going to be 8, and it should be 8 and 26. I don't want to do it that way. Equaling to 34, equaling to 23. The two of them together equal to 57, the same numeric value for the moon. That's what that in between 2, 4, 6, 8. You're either going to have the 2, 8 or the 4, 6. You're going to be either this way, right? When you're going to have the 2, 8, and you're going to be awake. And when you're awake, you're going to have 16 or you're going to have 19. And when you're asleep, right? When you're asleep, you're either going to have 18 or 17. Awake and asleep. 35, 35. The center of this is 3.5. Remember that. 3.5 times 3 is 105, the hand of God. Where am I now? Where am I now? Yes. So we did this over here and we totaled 54. So now here's what we're going to do is every single side, okay, when you count up 54 as 6 sides, that means there's 9 per side. There's 9 over here. So let's do this. Let's do this. If you have 1 and 6 equals to 7, then you will have 8 and 3. equals to 11. If you have 2 and 5 equal to 7, you will have 7 and 4. Look at that. Earth, plug-in, Jesus, energy, power, demons equals to 11. When you have 3 and 4 equaling to 7, right? You will have 6 and 5 equaling to 11. 5 and 6 is the life inside, okay, the seventh gate, the beast. We are that 5 and 6. We are that 3 creation. So you see 711, 711, 117 when bringing these two elements together. There's more than just that. There's more than just that. Notice that I think it's 3 times 39, or the 3 angels, 3 by 39 equals to 117, the numeric value for the angel. So we can see now 7 come 11. Now at the same time we did that, right? We're also going to look at this. You go around the pole, it's got 4 sides. You go up and down, there's 2 sides. You look at it this way, it's 3 and 3 from the point, 3 opposite sides on this entire cube, 2, 3, 4 vibration, telling you different stories within. I'm just trying, there was something I was looking for. And each one of these are telling you different stories. Okay, yes, that's what it is. Is it because you have 2 sides, 2 different 7s, you're going to have 7 and 7, 14. But we need to count the void. And the void, right, with, let's say we have the 1, 6, 7, right? And we have the 3, 4, 7. So we're going to have 11 and 11 void. 11 void and 11 void. So we're going to have 22 void. And on the pole, we're going to have, and this is the 14, we have 14 on the ring, we have 11 void on the pole, and we have the 7 dot. Each one of these telling a different story. If I count only the void, multiply it and add it, I end up with a 3. Multiply and add it, I end up with an 8. So bringing numbers 3 and 8 is your heaven's creation. Other than what many talk about 37 and 38, the 0 and the double 0, reason for that enactment, I believe. So when you have this 38, okay, it also 83 stands for monkey. Gorilla, if I remember, is 74. Gold is number 38. All these things that go with number 1, 1, 4, and 7, like I spoke earlier on. We didn't talk about the yo, but the 731. That 7th gate is going to be Saturn. It's going to be jail. The 11 is going to be jail. Or let me do it, G, T, J, 7, 20, 10. Go to jail. Using the first initial. That's the story they're giving us. The first initial, capitalize in between words, different ways to use the first initial, first and second, alpha, beta. If it's binary code, right, we'll be going 1, 2. One of the questions, if it was binary code, should we be going this way? The Hebrews write this way. If I take a word ending in English this way, should I do my binary code this way and say it's LI instead of JA? So we do it all the ways to understand all the parts of the pieces of the puzzle in the science, right? Can't leave anything out. What fails? I want to know. Listen, if I share to you what fails and you try it yourself and you find you fail, that's one less piece you have to search for. But if I tell you something that fails and you just take it as for what I say and as the last word, then you're not raising any doubt. It's very important, I believe, to raise doubt. In fact, it's very important not to believe anything you hear from anybody at all unless they can prove their point. Okay, not prove their point, and you feel obligated to say, yes, okay, the water is ready. I'm coming back so I can just breathe a little slower. Benjamin, if you're still here, I'm going to talk about yo right after this. I might want to crush up some beans. I don't know if my cat's going to be happy with that. Where would I be crushing up beans? I should be making tea. I'm not a good person, right? Oh God, I got so much stuff here. So much tea. So much tea, so much stuff. Just give me a minute. Let me go see if I have coffee in the other room. Just give me a minute. Coming back. Go to the bathroom. Do I have any coffee beans? Coffee beans. Coffee beans. I'm looking. I'm looking. I'm looking. I'm looking. Oh, I got water. I don't know where my coffee is. Just give me a second. I gotta go climb up on here. I'm coming back in a minute there. Oh my God, there's nothing in here. There's nothing in here. There's a whole bunch of things over here. I think there's an empty thing over here. Let me test this out. No, I got 65 bags of rice if anybody wants some rice and soy sauce. Boy, where is my coffee? Okay, forget about that. Let me see over here. Don't have it here. Just give me a minute. I'm looking around for my coffee. God forbid I should open a light and it should cost me 10 cents in this apartment. Wow. I got some yeast here. It's 5 years old. The bag's never been opened. Okay, let me look in here. I know I had 2 bags of coffee. I got popcorn. Okay, just give me what's that? No, but I found my cribbage board. Okay, it's gonna be another minute for the coffee, so just give it 1 second. Just gonna do one little thing here for a second, all right? Just give it a second. Think of your questions. If you can help out the channel there. Oh my God, the coffee's right here. Oh my God. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm going to make a little bit of noise, so I'm making some noise. So please put on your ear blockers. Making some noise. I put it on an angle. Okay, and Now I'm going to scoop a little out. Hold on a second. I'm coming back. I'm going to come back. I'm going to have to leave it sit for 5 minutes. So I'm not going to let anybody wait on me, right? I'm just going to put in, I think I put in too much, but okay. I'm going to shut the door. Going to come on back. "7 months of 31 days. Thank you, Benjamin. Much appreciated. I do want to do this, which I never like to do, but I sort of have to do this. I have like no choice, but I have a choice. We all work in our lives, and like I said, where am I? I'm a little lost. I lost my camera. Okay, it's over here. Let me look at it over here. Okay, you can help. Somebody can help out the channel. I'll be just much appreciated. Okay, so first of all, one of the reasons I prefer to share everything unlimited, because there's only one way back to the beginning, and that's to find out where it all got separated. Where did we all divide? Where did I hate my brothers and sisters? Why did I hate my brothers and sisters? Why do I hate my parents? Why do I hate my grandparents? Why do I love them? Why do I want to be with everybody? What do people do? No way. Oh, found the shoe. I thought it was my blue shoe. Why do we like? Why do we love? We just spoke about how special the word love is. We also have to know that when we express love with a heart. The word for heart is heart. But in French, I think it's Coeur. And to run a yard, right? Don't forget, you might have 1 yard. The thing is, terminology, and that doesn't mean the end, right? Determine, terminology. I can be out in the backyard. That doesn't mean that is my backyard 36 by 36? What is the size of a yard, and where did they get the terminology to have I'm living on the acre. Yardstick. So we have the word heart. Now the heart is number 52. And what's so crazy is if I put the H from the beginning of heart over to the end, it's earth. That's why you have to see when I'm talking and I'm writing, we have to like energize and get right into it to see that's the truth. I took the H, the beginning of my heart, I put it to the end, and I ended up on earth. Oh my God, TH came together. What if TH was apart? And what if TH was together? At the beginning of the video, I did 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to 10. I did 21, 20, 19, and 18 equals to 78. What's so special about that? You see, the thing about the beginning is we're first. Give me the gold. But it's a fine line, the separation. But I am then to note it to be second. So give me the silver. Couldn't that be the operator presenting itself between two sides? Now I'm going to say, give me A. But in the first one, I'll give you AU. In the second one, I'll give you AG. Now all of a sudden, boom, bang, we put them together. We got third. All we have is bronze. I like to use sometimes Cu for copper, but I'm not really sure what the element, if you can help me out, for bronze is. To note that gold is number 38, that silver is 85, and that bronze is 80. It just so happens that the copper top to what is the numeric value of gold is silver. Silver, since it's one between two, it would then be 53, 35, 53, or 8, 8, 8. To where when you have first and second, and you say them in one word, you possibly can be stand. So you're standing. You stand or you're standing. And if it came to the game of blackjack, you'd be standing on 17. That's where I'm standing. I'm standing on 17. So you have first and second that came into what is third. So then you go your first, your second, your third. And then after that, you're fourth. You're runner-up. You became the capsulite, the capping of your, you capped. You brought these together and you capped on the bottom side. I'm not sure if you wanted to do it this way or see it this way to show the capping of your form. The signature of the alliance, the pointer on your computer, the barb of Neptune, the barb, angel spirit coming in through the moon into the E world, the house of bait, 6 sides, hexagon, 666, created by 33. How is this 33? 3 times 3 is 9. 3 plus 3 is 6. And when you do it, I like to just box it off just a little bit. I didn't even have to do this. All I had to do is show that when you create the 69, you automatically create those 3 arrows here. So that 6 is what creates that separation and rotation of 69, the percentage of the 2 houses rotating within each other, divided only as so above and below, is that when you connect them or you lock them in place, you add the extra line into the 2 houses, you lock the 2 houses, you now have 2 directions on every single side, equaling to 8. From 8 is going to be 6, 6, 6, 6 from 8. The reason for this is, as you see, the star is not moving. You see the one line here. You see the second line here, the third line here, and the fourth line here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go the first line here, the second line here, the third line here. The first line here, the second line here, the third line here. The first line here, the second line here, the third line here, the first line here, the second line here, the next line here. None of these are the same. There's 4 different stars. But even in this star system, and there's many different numbers that take the place of this box, but this is my toolbox. 58, 90, 86, 74, 66, 70, 78, 82, 62. I didn't forget, and I didn't memorize it. I didn't do nothing. Where did I find all my information? Oh my God, I had a calculator. Everybody got a calculator? There you go. You know the alphabet? There you go. You can count to, be best if you can count to 100. There you go. You can divide. You can multiply. All simple math. All we're doing is bringing stuff together. 3 by 39. Sorry, 3 by, I think I made a mistake. Yes, that's 117. 3 by 36 by 3 equals to hold on a second, 108. Yes, 3 by 36 is 108. Okay. Just need to understand my numbers. 6 in rotation of 9. 5 looks like 2. So if I have 2 and 6, you might look at me and say, hey, 5 and 9. The one upside over there would say, no, it's 9 and 2. The other one would say, no, it's 6 and 2. Or 6 and 5, or 9 and 2, and 9 and 5. So they all change because they change. On the dice cube, that one looks the same. That one looks the same. 1, 4, and 5. This corner, right? You never know what they are. You never know what's where on that corner. But on this corner, right, they're all matches of 2. The 365 days a year, on purpose or not, each one of these has a double direction in it. This one goes this way and this way, right? The 2 goes this way and this way. And I think it's the 3 goes this way and this way. So they're all telling different stories. I'm going to get my coffee. I'm going to come on back. I'm going to show you this rotation of the star. I wanted to still work on and show you the crucifix, how perfect that name is. Now, I want to know when the first person ever said crucifix, because I need to know how long. We need to go back in time. We got to go back in time to where it's impossible and that you need a computer in order to figure out that relationship. Or did it change over time on purpose, and why? Because if I can go back 500 years and easily show you, this is the story. Don't forget, it doesn't matter how far you can go back. This is the story. I mean, if it was created in the last 100 years, maybe somebody did it with computers. If it's created 500 years ago, you start to question, I didn't see a computer here 500 years ago. Why in the world would they worry if I said Mars and Earth are together? Why did they come together 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6? Why is 1 and 8 mathematically the same as 2 and 7 and 3 and 6 and 4 and 5? In fact, I'm going to show you that too. I'm going to do this also. 2, 3, no, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. I may as well show you me counting. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, and 36. 4, 2. Did I get that? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. This should be 9. This should be 1. Did I get that right? Down, 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 down. Right. This should be 9, right? There is no 9. That's the problem. This has to be talked about. We have 0. It should be -1 and +1 in this area. This is to be discussed. We have this. Then we have, let me see, 1, 8. Then we, oh, yes, 7, 5, 3, 1, 8, 6, 4, 2, 9. And here we're going to have 5, 1, 6, 2, 7, 3, 8, 4, 9, 5. And then we're going to have 1, 2. Then we have, right, 2, 4. Okay, that's it. It stops over here. I'm going to come back. I'm going to explain that. And I'm going to explain that. Just give me a minute. Benji is still here. Tammy is still here. Let me go check out my other channels. Let me get my coffee. I'll be on back. Give me a minute, please. Has anybody seen my blue shoes? I can't find my blue shoes. Those blue suede shoes, just can't find them. Just give me 1 second.
But everybody knows magic. Do you know magic? Magic. Isn't it wonderful, magic? Oh my God, I didn't even see it. Slow it down. Okay, I'll slow it down. Now, even when you slow down the sound, listen to the sound. Now we're going to slow down something else. In fact, I'm not going to slow down something that you won't see. I'm going to let you watch. For the next 90 days, I'm going to let you watch how the tree changes, the leaves change colors on the tree. I'm going to let you watch this magic. And as the maple syrup comes out and fills up a whole gallon of maple syrup in your bucket, now you watch that. It lulls you to sleep because how can you stay up for 90 days watching it? You can't. But the magic trick happened so fast. Oh my God, I didn't see it. It was magic. But because it happens fast or because it happens slow, it doesn't mean that they're not both magical. Something that you can't sometimes imagine. In fact, in magic, they can show you exactly how it's done. And it's just so quick. You can't fathom after all that you practice that you're getting to be able to do it at all. The magic. Oh my God. Did you see what I did? Or what I'm going to do? I mean, I should just like, you know what? Hold on a second. I got to look for something. Hold on a second. There's magic in the air. I can see it. Oh my God. Is that like a new, like, that's my eye in there. Let me fix this hat. Hold on a second. I just want to fix this hat. Just give me a second. I am going to do something. I don't know if this is going to work. Don't know if this is going to work, but you know, when I was younger, I used to love to have my long hair and cover my pimples and not let my ears show. Now I rather, hey, look at him. Like, okay, but there's a reason to look at me right now. That's why. Before I had no reason to want to be looked at. Now I don't mind if I'm looked at because I have something to share. At least I think so. But I'm not going to put it out there and stop everybody in the street. Don't ask my friends. What are you talking to everybody for? Oh my God, you embarrass me. 1 and 2. Whoever thought 1 and 2 would do anything at all? The egg met the sperm. 1 and 2. I went to the bathroom. I was standing up 1. I sat down. They say it's 2, and I got confused. I thought when I sit down, it's all 3. Now, since when can you not? Okay. Oh my God. You've got somebody taking a bath right here. I just look at that. She doesn't go there often, but she's there now. Hey, kitty. How you doing, kitty? Hey. See, I had to keep her close to me, right? You're close to me? Yeah, I had to keep her close to me because that's the thing I had to do. Okay, so before I get on with what I showed you, do you want me to go back to yo or crucifix? Like, where do you want me to start? Because it doesn't end. And it doesn't end because we haven't achieved or arrived there yet. I'd like to be able to create an Excel of some sort that we can put all this information and how to do all the equations and teach it what needs to be done. XD, I missed this. Oh, anyone tuning in times D. What's ironic now that you brought that up? Okay, I don't know where I was. Somebody's got to be taking notes because I go through a lot of stuff and I don't remember what I say sometimes. I have to go back. First of all, 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 equals to 24. At the same time, it creates 24. 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to 10.
This is what happens to this math. So therefore, this is the story that's going to happen. I already know that 6 and 8 equals to 14, right? But I also know what 6 and 8 do. I'm working with 4 numbers, 4 dice, offense and defense. I'm not sure if I'm working it in my favor, but let me go get a piece of dice and show you this reality, this truth, this absolute truth, this magical trick that these little dice do and what they say, because I put the words and the numbers and I match them up, because that is the number and that is the math. And there's rings. How many rings? We need to sing all the songs about rings. We need to understand the ring. And we also need to understand that since 3 will create what is our first turnaround, okay? 3 times 120 degrees will be our first turnaround. The 2 alliances put together with 2 points, with 3 and 3 meeting together, the 2 alliances. So we meet the 3 areas over here, the backside and these 3 areas, right? So 3 and 3 come together, creating just one base. And then we have 1 point and 1 point at the top of this base creation. This small base creation. I'm trying to think where I was with my thought before I jumped into something I shouldn't have jumped onto that. Yes. So hold on, the 6 and 8. I was going to get another dice cube. There's something that I'm missing. Hold on a second. You do know that the operator, not talking about alligators or Taurus, right? Or location, right? When the AT comes together, it's location. This tells me about gold, right? Also tells me about Taurus. When you're talking about Taurus, right? I like to think like that. Am I thinking like that with Taurus? What happens with Taurus is this is the design for Taurus. Now, I can be wrong, and I need help. And the reason I call this the design for Taurus is because I have this shape. I have, let me do this again. I have that shape here, and that's the inside area space between the 3 circles, right? So if you want to take a look on a bigger scale, right? The inside area space, where is it? The inside area space between the 3 circles. I don't really have one. Do I have a clean one? Let me see if I have a clean one. Okay, look here, right? Here and here. Do you see it right over here? The inside torus connecting to the 3 areas. Let's call it the 3 oceans. And then we connect all the oceans together. And then the stars, what goes through the center, meets at the honeycomb of what is in between. What is the in-between area here? They're not all done the same. I've changed the way I design them. I design them this way. This line, let me see. Okay, I think this one should know. Which one shows it the best? Yeah, I think this one shows it the best. These go into the center and these go in between. This is that supporting circle here. This is that supporting circle here. And this is that supporting circle here. Here's some connection to the 3 centers over here. And each one runs independently. And then these are your transfer circuits to go into the next star. You know, even when they sell this, they show you lots of different size circles. But when it comes to squares, they only work by the 1/8 and not by the 16th. They work by the 8th. I'm just give me a second to put the camera towards my face. I just lost the trend of thought when I was, yes, 6 and 8. Why so important? These dice cubes, okay, their division is number 7. In the game of craps, that is this answer. That's the answer. When you have 1 and 5, 2 and 4, 3 and 3. When you have 3 and 3, when you have 1, okay, when you have 3 and 3, let me see, you have 1 and 5, and I flip it over, and you're going to have 6 and 2. 6 and 2. And then what you're going to have is you're going to have, let's say, 3 and 3. When I flip it over, I got 4 and obviously 4. And 2 and 4. Okay, 2 and 4, when you flip it over, you'll have 3 and 5. And that's going to be that relationship that I started with you a few minutes ago that I just jumped over, is where we came into the gold 888. The reverse is 666. And then it bumps into this star system over here of 666, 888. All the directions of 8 inside 6. 3/4, right? House of DC, right? This will be 1 and 1/3, or it'll be 4/3. And this one over here will be 3/4 or 75%. It's going to be related to the electric moon, male and female. Male and female, where we're going to have 2 females and 1 male, possibly why we have to have the EE coming together with 2 females, because the female jumps into the 7 and the male jumps into the sun 9, and the female jumps into the female 7 moon, right? Female 7 moon. And that's all because of the 12 bat, and that'd be location. And I don't know why this thing is working. Okay, and we'll have the 13, we'll have the bar, and then we'll have the bat. We'll have the bar and the bat coming together. The male gets the, no, sorry, we did that wrong. Boy. The bar mitzvah, MIT, right, and the bat mitzvah, you know, they both get the same ending. Not going to talk about it right now. We have to talk about it together, right? The IT system, right? Tzva, the heavens, they go to life. I am. When I and M come together, it's I am. It's also, that's what I am says. And the value over here is going to be 1 plus 8. 1 and 8 is going to be the value. 1, 2, 4, 8. It's going to be a 9 value, the heavens spirit, bringing the heavens together. 8 surrounding 1. Where do I get this from? I get it from Roman numerals. M is 1000. I is 1. It'd be 13 and 9 equaling to 22. 22 gets seen as in your communication. Where is my 22? Just 1 second. I know it's not far. Where's my 22? Where's my 22? I did so many things, I even lost myself. 1 second. Where's my 22? Anyways, I'm going to have to tell you again what 22 is. 22, the 22 voids of 4 sides of this cube. There's a total of 33 void flat area spaces with no dots on them. So that's your 22. That'll be 2 by 2. 2 plus 2 will equal to 8. The reverse is 5 and 5 equals 5 times 5, 5 plus 5, right? And that will equal to 35. 3 and 5 is 8. They're the reverse of each other. You're 10, 4. You're 6 and 4. You're 6 and 4, right? You're 6 and 4, right? Equaling to 24 and 10. The operator, Zion, Israel, right? This over here is also going to be dark energy. It's going to be in control and connecting of 5775 moon base. Okay. The reason I say that is because it's your 6 in your gematria design, in where these are both 5. This one is 7, and number 6 comes over here. When number 6 comes over here, right? 5 connects to 7 through 6. 5 connects to 7 through 6. Number 8 is over here, halfway between 7 and 9. 9 is in this position over here. 9 is in this position over here. Now, the dice cube is going to show you 6 and 3 and 9. Okay, to what is 4 and 1 is 5. 4 and 1 is 5. So you're also going to see that the sun, the male and the female, the 5 and the 4 and the 5, the female, other than the 6 and the 3, the male, 5 and 4, is going to invert the 3 and 2 to where you're going to end up with 3, house of BC before the Christ, and 2 in Venus. Right? There's no moons on Mercury and there's no moons on Venus because the moons work out of Earth and Mars. There are 3 moons: Deimos, Phobos, Luna. I'm going to plug in my USB key and see if I can pick any of them up. This is that truth. This is that truth. This is that truth where 6 and 8 come together, what we spoke about. Where 6 and 4, what is Zion, Israel, and the operator to what controls the moon, to what controls both the day and the spirit, and the dark, and this spirit over here, that 10, right? The floor, what controls that floor? Is it connecting the energy coming in? Is it connecting a flow? Is it bypassing it? Is there a clutch? Is there a transmission? How do computers work? How do we send things through Wi-Fi? Everything that has been recreated, because in order to end the game, you have to have the whole game. You have the preliminary to the game, the opening ceremony to the game, you have all the runs, and you have the final closing. Then after everything is done, what you go to next is you have the color commentary after the whole thing is done, how it was set up, how they prepared when they won. Well, in this case, a life that we're living, what we're going through right now is that everybody has to show their cards. It's the end. You have to show your cards. And everybody has to know, everybody has to realize that we have one moon, Luna. It got the female pregnant. It only needed to get the female pregnant, right? And I'm only saying this and not to be contrary to anybody that thinks different, okay? I'm saying this, female to me, okay, is going to be equal to the egg. Male is going to be equal to the sperm. That is male and female, egg and sperm. The egg is 775. Again, Christ, power, energy, moon. The sperm is number 71, telling me about the one spirit at the 7th gate, connecting to that elixir and always following up with the tail of the sperm worm. You know what I'm saying? Sitting on the throne inside the egg of what is to be noted as the hue of man inside what is creation of Humpty Dumpty. Sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Now I'm questioning, where's the wall? Where's the egg on the wall? All the king's horses and all the king's men. Who are they? Who are my king's horses and king's men that couldn't put Humpty Dumpty together again? What happened? I just, hold on, my phone was just, whoop. Let me see what this says here. Hold on. I usually don't look at any messages while I'm doing all this, but I'm doing it right now. Just give me a second.
Anybody know Ramses? When you were about 15, 16, 17, should I say this more for the girls or more for the boys? Was it a boy or a girl? Is it a woman or a female? Is it an egg or a sperm? 71 and 19 come together to create 90. That's in the birth cycle. 10 times 9. That's the highest you can get. In fact, it's a crazy number because 10 is supposed to start everything over again. But yet when it's 10 times 9, it doesn't. 10 starts everything over again. But when it's 10 times 9, it doesn't pass 100. Try to think about that one. I'm going to think about it myself. Remember I spoke to you before and I said, you know, Earth is said one way with the TH coming together, and here it's apart. Perhaps what's happening over here, although it's number, now there's a long story and a lot of theory in this, so I have to look at this deeper, that 28 and 18 are in a different company than many other numbers with 8. And the reason for that is because 2 and 1 are a parent. These are your building blocks. Okay, after you get the 3 is your creation of what was 1 and 2, and whatever number you come up with that, if it would be a 7 or an 8, it's going to tell you within the heavens. The 7 will be within the gate. The 6 will be within the house. If you take a look at these numbers, 8, 7, and 6, right? Everything comes up more than once. They come up all over the place. You see, we note right now, right? We talked back before, TH, RD, ND. This is your vibration. We don't have the A inside of this, right? The A would go over here. A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. 6, 7, and 8. Why? Number one, this card is reproduced here and is not produced anywhere else. Keep this card because what's in this card is already here. And your final card of our creation is right over here. These 2 cards over here. The reason for that is I don't need the center part because it's apparent in my 9 creating my 11 to the 7th gate of our creation. 7 come 11 talking about Rubik's Cube. You know, this is 1 and 1. This is 5 and 4. This is 5 and 3, 2 and 1, 2 and 2. Except when you talk with the diamond cards, right? Double those up. They have a double value, right? Because you can count the ups and downs. They're all up and they're all down. They're the only one that's going to count the 182 on a full count. 91 up. First of all, there's a value for each single one. The value of each one is 4. So each one is 1 because there's 4, obviously. But then there's another position count. Not going to get into that. I'm just trying to think of what else it is. The 4 is inside the 9. I don't need it. I have the 8. We're not going to talk about these or this one yet, right? The 6, look at that. All the 6 and the 8. So I really don't need the 6. That's my jack. The reason it's my jack, see that one? That one's got 2 eyes, right? And if you look at all the jacks, they're going to have a total of 6 eyes. Jack is going to have a total of 6 eyes. Jack and 6 go together. So now we have the 2, right? The queen, sorry, let's forget about the 2. The queens, right, have 4 cards and 8 eyes. The queen is going to get the 8, right? And now we're going to go the kings, right, have 7 eyes. So I go ahead and I replace the king with a 7, the queen with an 8, the jack with a 6. Now I need to bring that into a perfect world. So I need to put 4 here and 3 here and then 2 over here. Blackjack, game of 21, you need to create 10s. That will be the month of 28 days, the month of the cycle, Valentine's. Only when the birth comes to town on the 29th day. The reverse is April 1st, April Fool's Day, also to know day of the fish, or how about that sperm? On the 91st day, your first suit is created, 1 through 13, or
okay, equals to 91. 91 times 4 equals 364. Your creation in the D world, your reflective creation. Times 3 is 273. You're now in the house of bait creation. So if you want to know where you are and when the egg meets the sperm in a time limit, it's on the 92nd day is the cutoff date to where the spirit meets the child inside the womb. And it shows me the numbers right over here, 27, which is 3 times 9, and here it's 4 times 9. When you work with 4, it's 4 times 90 to equal to 360. And in this one area over here, it's 3 times 120 to equal to 360. The 3 downs and the 4 downs in the CFL is to understand the difference over here between Earth and Mars and the separation. Losing 130, losing 1/4 of time in this separation. There's 1/4 of time difference. There's up to 2.5 times. I'm going to get back to that. Hopefully you don't forget what you saw. But according to some of the numbers, our time clock can be off 2.5 times the difference. The reason for that is the base creation of the outer ring of a cube is numbers 1 and 6. I'm going to show you. I'll get back to this after. The outside of the cube is 1 and 6. The next one is 2 and 5, and then it's 3 and 4. So we do 2 and 5, 3 and 4, 2 and 5, 1 and 6. To get to the center of this cube is 3.5. If I do 3 centers times 3 equals 105, they also say it's the world of AE or JE, like I am. 1 through E equals to 15. It's OIM. It's actually Mio before it's Mia. Right? And I don't want to say Miami because I am in Miami. Okay, so, and just the devil is in with a D, right? So we're going to go that a mirror world becomes the D, the platform to our base creation. Did we get that closure because the D for demon plateaued that? I don't know yet. We're not going to look at that right now. So where are we? Oh yeah, so we're over here. So the outside to the inside is 3.5. So 1 plus 2.5, 6 minus 2.5, 5 plus 1.5, 2, no, sorry, 5 minus 1.5, 2 plus 1.5, 3 plus 0.5, 4 minus 0.5 equals to 3.5 equals to 3.5. Anybody going to pick up a 3.5 quarter gram, an 8 ball or something? Well, all the expressions are because they had to exist. Total is 21. 2.5. So I assume that 60 times 2.5 equals to 150. 150 seconds inside an hour rather than the hour that we have of 60 seconds. And you know what's funny? 3 times 3 equals to 9 or 90. And then we have 3 plus 3 equals to 6 or 60. And we get our 150 of time. Instead of running at 60, we'd be running at that. So if you have something ailing you in your body, right? And I'm assuming this is vibrational time because it has to do with the house we live. We run on vibrations. We feed, we nourish the body. You can deny what I say, but it is part of our living. If I talk, and I talk your ears off and you can't handle it, what's happening to you? If we're not living on vibration, then the voice you hear from me, how are you hearing it? What you see is maybe evil unto your eyes, but nothing has touched you. No one has touched you, and you're no longer feeling good from what you see and what you hear. You close your eyes and you hear a vibration. You're now a dog. You don't hear what the dog hears, but the body you live within, the house, the earth, the planet, the soul of that dog. Your heart beats the heartbeat of a pig because we run in the 3-3-3 system. The birth and pregnancy of a pig is 3 times 3 times 3. It's 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days. Chicken, 21 days, hatches on an average at the end of its cycle will be 18 eggs on 21 days. If you're laying 21 eggs, you're going to have this number showing on the dice to get 18. If you want to get 17, we're going to have this number showing on the dice. 3 for 17, 4 for 18, stand on soft 17. I tell you the stories that they gave to us, so the Lord of creation doesn't forget, because the Lord of creation, the defragmentation or the fragmenting of all the pieces that vibrated us together, that stuckied us together, okay? They stuckied one in total. We are all just, I don't even want to say it, I want to use a proper word, that for everything we do and we know, for the free will, it is very hard to choose and to know why what we are choosing when it comes to the unnatural of who we actually are, and why we don't need to desire, and how we were. Anyways, I don't want to get into that because I cannot word it properly. But the end result is, let's say this apartment here, the door never opened and I never left the room. But I can grow all my vegetables and all my food, and I can make imaginary friends. But there's certain things I cannot do. So I create another like myself, or something different, a marionette. But I don't want it to be a wooden boy. I want it to be able to make its own choices. I need it to make its own choices, because in science, you can't put any limits on science. When you go out into the world, you can't put any limits. But what you can do is teach the difference. And then tell them, not unto me what the difference is, but for you to know. They touch the heat, they burned their hand, they know it's no good. I told you fire was no good, you tested it out for yourself. You built a straw house and I blew it down, started on fire. You burnt the brick house, it was solid. The mortar and the bricks, a house of death. Straw would have been the golden life. So every instrument I build in this room, all my USB keys and whatever it is, they had all the information, but they couldn't do anything. I need to create something like that with 5 fingers or 4 or 5 fingers and 5 toes, and I can talk and say, hey, you're me. And I don't want to have any control, but I'm going to teach you everything. The only thing I can't do is give you the house you live. All you are is who you are in the house you live. If I take away the bubble of your life, your body goes away, but the energy of who you are will always remain helping me inside the greater cell. But you will not be that hue of light right here. And the Lord built many of us, all of us. We're all the children of creation, all with free will. So I drove down the street, and this was God's son, and this was God's son, and boom. Because we were made in solid matter, solids and stripes, I went into the other one, and one of God's sons died. So now we know the free will, right? We also have to learn different things. Judgment. We learned weights and measures to understand the differences in how to do things. Whatever it is, the element scale, and all these things, we know all this information. And now we have to figure out how not to get into anybody else's way as we're creating. And as you create, there's so many things we create that we've created ourselves out of existence. And that's the dangers of the free will. Were we interfered with? How did it happen? Perhaps by Abraham's
first birth. Abraham, an arm of communication. A and B, creation. R, the heavens, spirit. The plateau, the 10 goes with 18. R is the 18th letter. It is half of something to the rest of the picture. If you're the front, God's the back. It just so happens that the first month of Rosh Hashanah and Passover, they call it the month of Tishrei. But when an English guy like me reads it, it says shit king. Spirit, heaven, internet or IT system, birth into the 20 worlds. T minus counting. Minus says I am. It also says 1001. It also says the heavens of one. You're going to have to ask me again if I need to remember. Made that made. Made that made. I heard that before. I'm not sure if I saw it on your site. Abraham, or ha, right? H and A coming together. So you would separate it, right? Would take away. And they also have Amram, right? Didn't they have Amram as a mother? And it all extends back to the creation coming from Mars, because Abram, and backwards is M-A-R, and then A and B is your part plural creation, and S will take over that plural. Not only that, S is the 19th letter, 1 and 9 is 10, reverts back to A. One thing that I didn't mention before, and before I forget, it was a long time ago, and I should have mentioned it. Okay, I'm going to have to write it down again. I don't know where I put it, right? So it was A, B, C, D equals to 10, and it was U, T, S, R equals to 78, which is 21, 20, 19, and 18. Now, what happens, okay, is that when we count backwards, right, starting over here, this is on the cube. We count down, the countdown starts at T minus counting. Should I start on the cube? If I start on the cube, I'm starting here, here, and here. The second half of 360 degrees splits between the 1 and 180 and the 360 down to 190. The separation is 185 over here. 1 and 9 is 10 is 1, 2 plus 0 is 2. So if I'm counting this cube backwards, now what's actually happening is you have 21st over here, but over here you have IETH, you know, like the Aether that they're selling. And then over here you have TH happening. You have a 1 TH instead of a 1 ST, because your ST is showing up in 3. Your first ST shows up in 1. Your next ST shows up at 3. So if we're talking about what is the difference between 1 and 3, or 13 for bar mitzvah, why not count 2? Because 2 is inside of 3 over here. So we just skip over 1 and 2 equals to 3. So this is the countdown, right? First, second, third, and then fourth. And then just, you put our 2 A's here. The E shows up only, the E only shows up on the third one, right? And you have standard death. ST and D R D T H. ST and D R D T H. Standard death 10. A, B, C, D, 10 and 24 equals to 34. And who takes you there? 6 times 4, 6 plus 4. And they're going to take you there. If it starts off with an IS or a V1, they're both standard numerics for Mars. 22 for life, 9 for birth, equaling 31. It's a 1.5 times the value, living the life of Saturn on the Saturn rings.
I also mentioned rings before. I'm going to get to you in a minute, Mr. Messer. The Saturn rings, and remember the rings. And I did that already. I want to go right back to those rings. I've written down so much on top of myself. It's funny, I did that and I did that. Anyways, I'm going to explain it to you. Not here. Okay, I'm going to have to go back. Okay, so let me do the rings, and I did it already. It was the 1 and 6, the 2 and 5, and the 3 and 4. In this situation, this is this ring. There's a 3 and 4 ring, a 2 and 5 ring, and a 6 and 1 ring. This is your three bases. This is your base ring. So if this would be looked at as Rubik's Cube, you'd have 3 and 3 because it's the opposite side, right? So you'd only have the first 3 planets to create the ring over the finger. So you need 4 around the finger and 2 empty spaces to put this finger inside the ring. So you're either going to put your finger in the 1-6 hole, the 2-5 hole, or the 3-4 hole to put that ring. One ring, right? All the levels of the ring. I'm just trying to figure out why I mentioned that. I did the ST bit. Right. I wanted to do that again. 21, 20, 19, and 18 equals to 78. Now there's other things to do with this. If I add on, this would be the same thing as adding 1 through 12 equals to 78. 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 equals to 8 equals to 7. And this is going to always revert. This is just going to keep turning over again, right? And this total will be 71. And it'll just keep going over and over and over again. It will be the gateway into 7 and 8, which is your A, B, 8, 7, void. Your 15 is void. There's a 15 void in this. Perhaps it's part of that rotation. I don't want to go into that yet. I'm not bringing up that. I'm not going to bring up this number 7 and 8. 1 through 18 equals to 171, also related to sperm. It seems like the sperm is alive in the body from birth all the way to death. That sperm that was ignited from your father is still in your body right now. We spoke about this piece over here, yes, where we had the 92nd day. The first set of cards, right? The first 13 cards ends on April 1st, but now it ends on March 31st, right? 3, 1, 3. It's a moon expression. It starts with 3 times 1, 3 plus 1. Okay? 3 times 4. The total is 19. You have egg. You have DNA. You have I think it's 6, 1, 6. I'm not sure if it's 6, 1, 6, 1. No, it's not 6, 1. Hold on a second. It's I'm just trying to figure out if I was on there. Anyways, let me see this. Blah 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 blah. Oh yes, it's 575. No, no. Yes, it's 676. I was right to start with. It's 676. Sorry, it's 676. Although the 7 is in the center position between two sides, 1 between 2, overtaking its value is 7 and reducing it to 1. You can use either one of them because it's the split as I showed before, right? This is 5, this is 5, this is 7. The 6 and the 6 connects here, making 6, 7, 6, 19. Just trying to, so we have this 19, and then 3 by 19 equals to 57. You now connect up to the electric moon. Trying to figure out where I am. I lost my place. And this is why the mind of the child, okay, that the woman impregnated, okay, the mind of the child only connects here after the 91st day. On the 93rd day, also connecting to Saturn, right, is when you've connected the line. Before that, the line is not connected. It's just part of the base creation. right? Another thing, like I said, 31 and 13 and 31, or 13 and 31 and 13 equals to 57, 75. That'll recreate 74, that'll recreate 39, and then it'll stop over there. Angels, 12, 11 and 14 come together. The K and the N, when this combination comes together where it's next to each other or at the beginning of the end is bookends, which is also known to connect with Earth's heart. This is why 11, 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 is 1 and 2 equals to 3. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 is 4 and 5 equaling to 9. That's why. 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1 equals to 3 equals to that 9. And then you're going to have C and I coming together. You can also say it's the New York Knicks if you want. They might be expressing that Big Apple. Remember, we were talking about Pinocchio, right? I don't want to forget about Pinocchio. And I also don't want to forget about Humpty Dumpty. Sat on that wall. Okay, so hat or AH is 9. I removed from Sari, okay, AI coming together. -1 and Sarah, between the two, the addition was 8. So that's interesting because if it worked as a funnel, right? If it was working as a funnel and it was in between the funnel here, imagine there's all three in a, it's here, it's here, it's here. Where is it on the funnel? And if it's 1 down here, is it 3 up here and 5 over here? Is it -1, +1, +2, +3? So, but I understand that because it could be on this side or on this side, the minus side, and all the designs, it's either on this side or it's on this side. If you're talking about Mars, 2468. If you're talking about Earth, it could be on this side, it could be on this side, could be in the middle, could be on this side, could be on this side, could be in the middle. That's Earth, 3 by 3. Earth, 33, Mars, 22. Mercury, the single creation, is 1 by 1. Count that as 11. Count Mars as 22. Count Earth as 33. Teen space, both number 44. That will create the division, the 3 parts of the day, dividing it by 8 hours and 16 hours. 4 times 4, 4 plus 4. Is that 16 hours? The reverse of that on the cube is going to be the 3. The missing piece of the void is going to be the 6. And the other missing piece is going to be the 5. So I got to do that crazy creation and check that out, but I'm not going to tell you yet. Okay, I want to end something that I started before. There were a couple of things I wanted to do, but first let me look into Mr. Messer. I want to see this. Sarah Abram, 83. So that would be part of Rubik's Cube, the 11, 11, 11s. And Sarah Abrams, 91, would be the spirit. It would be the 2 systems in which it would be the 1, 8, 2, 7, 3, 6, 4, 5 in system 1. To the second system, 2, 9, 3, 8, 4, 7, the beast and Jesus, okay, and 5, 6, 5 and 6, who we are, right? That 11 base creation, 5 and 6 on the cube, right? Talking about all the faces and all the spaces, talking only about the 1, talking about the 2, talking about the 3, as well talking about the 6, as well talking about the 6, talking about the 3, right? What's missing on this cube? So then this is your 9, this is your 11. You notice, so that's your 1 and 9. Why did I say 1 and 9? Because here's number 1, not used. Here's number 9, not used, yet it is the total. It is also 99 and 20, equaling to 11, 9, back to itself again. Birth in the house of Bate. Number 29, the IT system divided sons. We came down over here. 83 is monkey. Sarah 48, Sarah 47. And 48, it's the sun. It's working in thirds. Sarah with an H is working through the beast. It's working through time. It's working through the angels, the cycle, and the moon. 90. So they had 90. So they had them in the mirror world on the fourth dimension. That would be 9, 18, 27, 36 equaling to 90. So here's what we have. In box 1, box 5, box 9, we have a total of 222. And as we spoke earlier, what I was going to mention, okay, I'm just going to skip over it. Equaling to 222 was the stars, right? I have to make the stars. 1 star, right? So let me see. I'm going to make that star right here. So I make that star over here. Okay, and each one of these lines is 222. The star is 666. But I have all these lines all equal 222. Notice I'm obliged to put one up here. The other 3 I can put here, but this one is here. So it's 666 and 222 dividing everything, unless I turn around the star, right? But it's always 222 separate from the other 222. And remember, if we were working in 12s, that's because our creation starts with a creation like ourselves to recreate from the mold. You can't put here what doesn't work here. 190, when you add 1 through 19, it equals to 190. That's very cool. Right? And you start again at 91. Oh, I like that. Yeah, okay, that fits. 90 fits big time. That's the 432 vibration. So we get this over here. Now we do another one, is we have this X over here with this line over here. Here we have 258. Here, the difference is I did that all wrong. Here we have 456. Here we have 258. When we're going to do this one, right, we're going to do this one, we're going to have 357. And when we're going to do this one, we're going to have 159. And I'm going to show you, let me see where I can show you that. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 159, right? 357. So 159, 357, 159, 357, 258. 159, 357, 456. 285, 456, 357. And then on the last one, you're going to have 258, 456, 159. And each one of these will be 666 to the main star of 888. I still need to understand that piano thing you do, Mr. Messer, because that is interesting. And maybe it'll shorten up or help some of my work or open up new grave lines. What's over here, okay, is pretty simple. Here's your cube. There's 4. There's 5 missing. There's 5. There's 4 missing, right? Same thing here. So when we go up, I go up by ones, counting by ones, correct? And we go down, I count by 8. 8 and 8 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. Plus 8 is 24. 2 and 4 is 6. Plus 8 is 32. 3 and 2 is 5. Plus 8 is 40. Plus 8 is 48. 8 and 4 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. So this and this are working perfectly. How do we do this? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 14. 1 and 4 is 5. 16. 1 and 6 is 7. 18. 1 and 8 is 9. 4, 8, 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 16. Okay. 20. 24. 2 and 4 is 6. Also note we had a 24 over here and we had a 24 over here. So we also have to understand how this and this comes together. 8 and 4 comes together through Pluto. 8 and 7 is a gateway. Your base 1 and 2 is your creation. So we must have to understand how 7 and 8 come together. 7 and 8, the reverse of 7 and 8, okay, as 1 and 2 is going to be 6 and 3. And you notice there's no 6 and 3 here. And the reason for that is 6, 12, 18, 24, 3, 6, 9, 12, splitting the day up, right? But the whole thing is it reverts back to themselves right on the fourth item, your rotation in your creation of the 99th house, Jupiter 13, the house of bait. In French, they go 4 times 20. So it's the same thing as 4 times 2, and that's where the gate divides. And when you add our birth into that, equaling to 90, the birth resides inside one of the rings of Jupiter, according to these over here. The IT system of Earth, right over here. See this? 29. UP is 21 and 16 equals to 37. Our creation of the gate in the birth. Now this T20, right? Remember the numbers, 20, that is outside, right? Outside or inside, the cord, the noyau, the heart, bringing the worlds together. I couldn't be 20 on Sugar Mountain because it's the outside numbers that will enable the inside number to come to life. The dot and the void. Also note that we spoke about hearts earlier on. And if you wanted to create a heart, right, or a velociraptor footing, would you not create a heart this way? So if I wanted to create 2 hearts, right, I would create 2 hearts this way. Now, when you create those 2 hearts that way, I did not fill in this space, or this space, but I encompass the space by bringing this and this together. Now, I'm not sure if it's hearts. I'm not sure if you want to talk about a heart bringing the, past this down here, it looks like a jack, right? I only have this, and then I have this. When I meet the cross, it's because I crossed over from the other side. My right went to my left went to my right. Here's the end of this. And then at the end, they show you this, or they show you the Jack card, letting you know that you're with Mars. The dot is Mars. By virtue is Mars will do this. Mars is the window. Whether it's 10 or 11, window is 88. 88 creates that 7th gate. 8 and 8 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. There's a 2.5 gap to the center of the cube, representing Earth communication. See how the heart comes together. Now, if you double that up on each other, you end up creating 88 with a diamond in the center, the one-eyed diamond, talking possibly about the king of diamonds. So if we went to this one over here, 7, 5, 3, 7 and 7 is 14, 1 and 4 is 5. 4 times 7 is 28, 2 and 8. Okay, here's the fourth one. 4 by 7 is 28, 2 and 8 is 10. 6 times 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 7 is 42, 2 and 4 is 6, right? 2 times 6 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3. There's 3 difference over here between the two. I went from 7 down 1 to 6. I went from 2 up 1 to 3. Here's number 4. We're going to go into the 7th position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In the 7th position, I went down 3. In the 7th position, I went up 3. How did I get to 8? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 3 and 5 is 8. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 2 and 8 is 10, 1 plus 0. So the math is absolutely perfect. The cube is absolutely perfect. It's telling the story. That's the story it's telling. This is absolutely perfect. And this changes. It changes its numbers all the time. First of all, if you wanted to count, block number 1 was 58. Since it's block number 1, I'm going to do this twice. Since this one was 90, it's 9. This one was 86, put 14. This one was 82, put 10. This one was 78, 74, 70, 66, 13, 62, 58, 13, 62, 8, 66, 12, etc. So when you do this, right, if I'm just going to connect the outside, 13 and 9 is 22. Or 22 equals to 12 and 10. Or 22 equals to 15 and 7. If you want to add in the center to this total of what is 66, add in the center, you get 11 equals to 77, and that is the 7 times 7, 7 plus 7 will equal to 49 and 14. This is the female anatomy. This is the male anatomy. Yo, 11. Yo, 7 come 11. Yo, 7 come 11. It's talking about the doorway of this cube. Getting a little tired. Don't know which way to go. So we did all this. Now we're going to do it another way. When I add up these 3, it's 33. When I add these 3, it's 33. When I add these 3, it's 33. We have Jupiter 99. Jupiter will create Ra, or 1881. I'm a little bit. Yeah, I'm a little bit tired. I'm not really sure where to go. I wanted to talk about the crucifix when I first came in. I wanted to talk about this. I'll talk about it now since you're here, but I will bring it up in another video. I also wanted to mention the crucifix, but just give me a second. Just give me a minute. "19 times 19 equals to 361. And Mr. Messer, just one question, and call me stupid, but when you're comparing and showing all your stuff, is there anything, like if you come up with 2 numbers are the same, so you're going to compare it and say, this is going to mean this because this brings this situation together. You're using more phrases, bringing other phrases together in their value. And I think that's what it is. Tell me if I'm right. Me, I'm breaking down a lot more of the word and how many letters are in every single word to understand, is it an earth configuration by being 3, 5, 7, or 9? 9 letters would actually be talking about the sun and male. These 7 letters, and there's a difference between the 7 and the 9, right? There's a difference between the 7 and the 9. The 7 brings in what I like to call the moon area, right? That might be bringing in something, but the 9's talking about the ace area. I like to consider this the sun area, or the birth of the one spirit, making it what enlightens us, enlightens the either the 7, in which the 7 is only showing us about that half-life over here, right? See the 5 up and the 2 down, right? 1 times 3, 1 plus 3, talking about the moon. This one's talking about the sun. If you take one of the other ones, I don't see any more 9s, but I'd like to. Oh, here's one. See the way you can see there's 5 up and 4 down. It's numeric value of female, the numeric value for the sun. See the way you have 5 in the center of the 9, the IT system joining. Although you only want to go into one, that pulling from 2 directions, plugged into one area. Imagine if all these dots were angles and they're actually, this is bent over and this is going downward. Anything with a point, right, is not going in the same direction. It's not just like this, right? It's multidimensional. Anything with a point, multidimensional. If you got a 2-part star, a 3-part star, whatever, it's multidimensional. You've seen this before, right? And this would be the basic setup of your planet. So the bark of the tree would actually be Pluto. And the core of the tree, right? That core of the tree, the heart of the tree, right, would actually be partly noted to be the sun. And then Earth would be out on one of these rings. Earth would be almost the first part that has growth around the inside of the tree. And that's your base creation, your alpha beta creation, where Earth takes over and encompasses its first growth. So you can almost say, like, first it's Venus, first it's Mercury, then it's Venus, then it's Earth, and then it's Pluto. 1, 2, 3, 9, that's it. But in order to have Pluto, you possibly needed you only needed 4. You only needed number 4. That's it. That was complete, the number 4. 4 and 1 created 5, and then you divided the E word. Let me show you this over here. So if I have 1 area space, I can have 3 lines, 3 divisions. If I have 2 by 2 area space, I can have 4 divisions. If I have a 3 by 3 area space, Earth, I can have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 divisions, 7. Change this over for female and change this over for the moon. If I have a 4 by 4 area space, call this back to Mars, it'll be 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1 with 3 in between, with 1 with 3 in between. Okay, this one over here is going to end up to be with the sun, even though the sun should be 5. Sorry, this one again would be back to the moon, right? And then, how many is this? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. But it's also connecting the sun to it. I don't know why. 3, 6, 7, 2, 4, 5, male and female. This is 9. Should I count the ends or no? Should I make it bigger? When I go a 5 by 5 here, I have to see what it does. I have to understand this, because it's 9, I don't hit the 10-yard line. So I want to understand that as well. Okay. The other thing about this is when I hit 9, I like to talk about male, because the male comes in. Wow, I can't even find a pen. The male gets transferred over when you have your 12th birthday. Day 1, okay, is the 13th year. So were you actually celebrating at 12 your bar mitzvah into womanhood? Because you've already been there a year. So the female ends up to be at 13. The male ends up to be at 14th. This divides the alphabet. You see the way 3 and 4 divide over here? The 3 and 4 divide. So if they're dividing and they're half of each, A, B, C, okay, it would be A, B, C. And then you'd have D, E, F if it divides. And you know what's so funny? Because you have, look, I got A and F. Look at that. They did the same thing. I have B and E. I got 2 and I got 5. They did the same thing. And then they showed me 3 and 4, 3C, D4. And they showed me the same thing. Holy mac, must be magic, eh? Must be magic. Look at that magic trick. House of Kaaba, telling a whole story. 3.5. Did you know the 6-headed horsemen, the 6 heads? You have 3 headless horsemen. Look, there's a dot there, there's a dot there, there's a dot there, there's no dot there, there's no dot there, and on number 4, there's no dot. But yet, if I looked at Rubik's Cube, there would be a place on each side. The controller inside the center of Rubik's Cube, 1 area space, or the 27th area, controller of the House of Bet, the operator of Israel. Center of this cube, it operates 6 separate areas where you'll see 5 and 1 will be down. Call it the 5 players on ice and the 1 player in the net, the goalies, where they run it with penalties of 120 seconds. If you add up 1 through 15, it equals to 120. If you add up 1 through 5, it equals to 15. If you want to create 5, it's 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 is 3 and 2, 5. The house of BC inside the bookends of AD, after the death before the Christ, in the house of the freedom 55. Freedom is number 66. When you add 1 over to 11, it equals to 66. When you add 1 over to 10, it equals to 55. 55 and 66 is 121, or 11 times 11. It just so happens that the center of this cube, which is 3.5, there's 3 different ones equaling to 105. They also note it to be the hand of God. There's 3.5, 3.5, 888 in the center of that. And the opposite of that is 666. Would you like to see what 666 looks like? 666 versus 888. I just showed you this is complete, and there's 4 times of these. These are the reverse cubes. These are the reverse cubes. And the word is Fox HQZ, Fox headquarters. On the ATM, you find these 2 letters, 17 and 26 equaling to 43, or DC. You add the 8, it equals to 51, area 51, which would equal to Mars. Area equals to 25, 51 equals to 7 and 6. V1 equals to 6 Mars, and V2 equals to Earth 7. That's where Yo comes in. Why? 3 times 120 equals to 360, and 4 times 90. This is when we use the 12. This is when we use the 9 numbers. This is when we add in the other world, all levels, both ends of the shoelace. And this equals to 360. To create the 0, we need 4 of these areas. To create the Y, we only need 3, all coming to 1 area. And the reason for that is because area space has already been divided. Otherwise, it would look funny that this would be 4, right? 3 in a row and 1. Can we look at it that way? 3 in a row with 1. So we don't need the measurement here. So there's a few ways we can look at this. What is this? Headquarters, Fox headquarters. These 2 letters, okay, are found on the number 1 of the ATM machine. There was another calculation I was doing. Where was that calculation? Oh my God. Did I lose anybody? Because I'm starting to lose myself. Oh yes, it was right here. What it is 3 is opposite of 4. Well, when 3 is opposite of 4 for 7, I go 4 times 4, 4 plus 4, I get this answer. And this is 6. I get 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 is 15, right? It creates both the X and the O. There's 5 points in this one. There's only 4 points in this one. 5 points connected, 4 points, and 1 not connected. But anyways, the opposite of, the void inside the 4th house is here, and it'll equal to this. You end up with 69, and the void inside of this one is this, and it ends up to 63. This is your rotation of the 7th gate, 7 times 7, and that's going to tell you female, and then talk about the sun. I don't know why. This is the female part. It's also 45 is a passage. So what is it talking about? Is it talking about the passage to where? I'm just trying to understand the difference. And this is when they're calling Yo 11. The word 11 equals to 63. The ace can be noted in blackjack. The cube also. So they're talking about the division in the cube. The cube also noted to be ace. Ace is also in the letters of the sun, S-U-N, S1. S is also noted to bring 2 systems together because it's 1 and it's 9. The 1 and 9, the 19th letter, and the reverse of that is 8.
telling me I bring the heavens together of the one spirit and the 9 birth. Where do I bring it together? Through the moon. Through the cycle of 131, the angels of Saturn. Why through the moon? 3 by 19 is 57. What happens? It's your gateway 66, because 6 connects 5 and 7, and 6 connects 5 and 7, and 8, okay, is the polar to what 6 is. So 8 and 6 are connected at the heart through the 7th gate, as I showed. Seven is the square at the top, 5s are down here, and 6 overlays. The 8 overlays right here where 6 and 6 are joined. 8 will join 6 and 6. I'm not sure if this is the beginning of trying to $51.84, 51 for Pluto, 51 for Mars, 84 for Pluto, 135 splitting of the sun. Also, you have to know that 351, the total alphabet, 1 through 26, 351. The word game, 26. The word dog, 26. The word card, 26. 2 through 6, okay, at the Queen's Gate of Mars, because when I show you 5 and 1, when I show you 5 and 1, the reverse is 2 and 6. When you count 2 through 6, it equals to 44, dividing the night and day in area space. When you get the 5 and 1, you're talking about Mars. 5, 5, and 5. May 5th, the 125th day of the year. There's 5 people watching here. If you want to talk about the vortex, the Tesla, the frequencies, well, when you put 1, 4, and 7 with 3, 6, and 9, right, it creates the right side here, that triangle here. When you do 1, 4, and 7, and 2, and 8, and 5, it'll create this. If you take the 963 with the 285, it creates this. What it shows you is three different designs inside of here, all for your 432, 88. This is your 88 connection, your gold, your silver, your first, second, and third. Why on the first one you see a split legs? There's a split leg like this everywhere. It's in tune and tuning. Here you can have your cube inside the 6 star. Here is the 13 parts, the 7 parts, and the 13 parts. 7 by 13 is 91, numeric value for the spirit. 7 times 13 is 91. 13 times 28-day cycle, which is 4 by 7, equals to 364 days. 91 times 4 is 364. The ATM shows you Q and Z on the 188, House of DC, Republican House. And here it shows you the 7 and 9, where 7 is going to be understanding of the division in Mars. And this one we can talk at as your birth, and also the division and the separation and the connection within the moon. Your 9. Your 9 can also invert to where it passes on to the 6. 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 will create the rest of the numbers of what they are. And here's different ways to combine numbers. If you want, take a picture of it, look at it, try to figure it out. I'll explain it one day, but not at the moment. This is just something I made up many, many, many years ago. The 4th finger and the 9th finger are the same. Here's the same image I was showing you before. 1 all the way to 7, back down to 1, cross over to 1, up to 7, all the way down. Here's where it's on multiple levels. Here's another design that if you look at the octagons, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 hexagons within the octagon. Your octagon is connecting all your 2, 4, 6s, and 8s, except for over here, where it's going to connect number 10 or number 28. This add-on over here, this over here is 8, 11. See, 11 is a dark number, right? 11 is a dark number. Over here is 10, here is 13, and over here is 26, 29, 31, 28. They're automatic. They're like rings that you can see them as rings
over here, and they just keep repeating. You see the way it shows you levels over here, and here you can see the center. There's a total of 111, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 16, 17, 18. Let's do it this way: 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Why did I do this? Okay, this was in the center. This is the heart of numbers. It totals 111. It's connected between what is the Y area over here, right? And over here is the X. In the X area, that'll be number 23. This will be 14. After the death, before the Christ, living in Mecca. Here's that straight 1 through 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See the way I designed it as the under and the over. X going through O. Y going through O. X going through O. Y going through O. So once I notice the pattern inside of this, I know that after 36, I've already reflected my pattern. Now I can start doing it again. 12, 12, 12. Now I flip it over. I'm going to go bullhead versus bullhead right over here. This will be the biggest O in the center. There's two ways to put it, to reconnect. 36 numbers, 36, 36, 36, 36. We have 1,440 minutes in our day. And here's a different way to look at numbers. These are all sixes. Tell me if you can do this any other way. The reason on the higher side, you see the void over here, there's nothing, because I cannot get a 3 and 3, 6 over here. There's no 6 on the upper side. 15 is 6, 15 is 6. So we had to create two different designs. I'm not sure what this is. Right. The other thing I wanted to speak about is that we have three basic levels of numbers. First of all, you have to use them all, right? But you have 1 and 10 and 19 and 28 and 37 and 46 and 55. After that, it repeats 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you have 2 and 11 and 20, 20 and 29 and 38 and 47 and 56. And after it repeats. And then you have 3 and 12 and 21 and 30 and 39 and 48 and 57. After that, it repeats. Then you have 4 and 13 and 22 and 31. Remember, once you pass 3, everything changes. And 40 and 49 and 58 and 67. And then everything repeats. So you notice you have 40 in the center of these 3. Let me see, did I do this right? Okay, it repeated here. Okay, I didn't see it. And then you have this one section here repeated. Okay, so how many sections do you have here? Because after this one, it's 76. So how many do I get here? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it repeats right away again. Just a single 4. But then this one, 9 and 4 is 13. 5 and 8 is 13. 6 and 7 is 13. 8 and 5 is 13, right? So you're going to get all 13s. And then if you do 5, 14, and 23, and boom, look at that. It repeats right over here. So you see everything stays status quo, 7, 7, 7, and over here it's on the 4th one. So what we have now to understand is that if you see the 1, right, or a 10, or a 19, or a 28, they're all going to be converted into 10, 10, 10, 1, 1, 1. The difference between here, here, and here is this one is not the same as these two. These two will stay on the dark side. This one will be on the positive red side according to roulette. That's how it's designed. The next one would be 37, and that's when everything starts over again. We stop here. 1, 2, 3, 4, we've stopped. Everything stops on 36, right? 36 inches, 1 full yard. I'm just trying to see where I was bringing this tactically. 6 and 15 and 24 and 33 and 42. So we see that repeats over here. 7 and 16 and 25. This is to be a little bit different. And 34 and 43 and 52 and 61 and 70. And this one's a tight bit different, but it also reflects this. So it shows you that outside, inside, it's absolutely perfect. This one is not perfect. This one is not perfect. This one is not perfect. There is no 11, and it only skips out over here. This is the only time it becomes perfect, and that's when we're representing the seventh gate. I'm trying to see, there was something else I wanted to say inside of this one over here. I don't remember. Oh, yes, I remember. Okay, so this is what it is. You have 1, you have 4, and you have 7. So if you have 10 or 19 or 28, you have 10. But the thing is, 9 and 9 equals to 18. 1 plus 8 equals to 9. So you're never going to get any higher than 18. Never going to get higher than 18. But the two highest numbers, 9 and 8, that's your 17. Okay. And then 9 and 7 equals to your 16. And that's when it begins. Your 9 and your 7. They're different from all the other numbers. These two are different from all the other numbers. In 70 and in 90, they're used different. It's the moon and Mars coming together. Now, this over here is that when you start, these are the highest numbers. Sorry, this is a number that will never be attained or achieved. The 19 is on the other side, 180 degrees. Once you reach 190, you're on the other side. Once you reach that 91, like Mr. Messer said, you're on the other side. Right? So what we have is once you get 1 and 9 equals to 10, equals to 1, right? These all equal to 1. All these will equal to 1. Now, when you get to 13, all your 13s, right? All your 13s, 20, right? 13, right? All your 13s, 8 and 5, 9 and 4, 6 and 7 equals to 13, equals to 13, equals to 13. They all get reduced to 4, 4, and 4. And then the last one is 7. So you can go 34, 43, 25, 52, 61, 16. They're all your 7s, whichever one you have. So it's always going to be reduced to 1, 4, and 7. 7 times 31, 4 by 30, 1 by 28. Equals to 1, equals to 3, equals to 4. And this sometimes is equal to 2. Sometimes it's 2, 3, 4, but it's usually 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. This is your cycle. In the birth year, it shows you this one here in the 4th cycle. Where do I get this from? 28 days in February. 30 days happens 4 times in the year. 31 days happens 7 times in the year. 1, 4, 7. 1 and 1, 2. 4 and 4, 8. 7 and 7, 14. 1 and 4 equals to 5. And it's not me. It's 2, 5, and 8. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 3 times 7 is 21. 2 and 1 is 3. Right? 1 and 1 is 2. 4 and 4 is 8. 7 and 7 is 14. 3 times 7. So now how do we get 9? 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 4 is 36 is 9. 9 by 7 is 63 is 9. So how do I get 6 here? 6 times 7 is 42. 4 and 2 is 6. 4 times 6 is 24. 2 and 4 is 6. 1 times 6 is 6. And that's how you achieve these numbers. 3 times any of these will equal back to this. 6 times will equal back to this. 9 times will equal back to this. 1 of each time of these will equal back to this. And now you connect each together. And the same for this. 2 times 2 is here. 5 times 5 is 25 is here. 8 times 8 is 64. 6 and 4 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. So this is how it goes. The system was built this way. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus at 4:41 in the afternoon. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for being here. May, if I understand correctly, May 1st is the 123rd day of the year. And I just want to thank you very much. Appreciate you being here. We have to take this to another level, get this on an Excel, and let's talk to our Excel and see what Excel has to tell us, or whatever system we built to explain to us, so we can all join in finding the concrete elements to tell a story from everything that is in front of us. Let's call it the story of the word, the theory of everything. Peace and love. Thank you for watching. I can't love you all because I don't know you all. And the word love is a very mysterious word, because how can you appreciate one and love one more than another? Thank you for watching, the children of the Lord.